Welcome back to the Berserk complete story right here at Mangastorian. Today's a rather shorter episode than usual on top of our shorter episodes. I know, we're doing 3 chapters, and this particular time not much actually happened within the chapters, so I apologize, but that's what we're doing now, 3 chapters at a time, so that we always have Berserk for you guys. When we last left off, Farnese had run off and Magnifico had learned that he shouldn't rely on his sister. Everyone turns to see what's going on as some of the royals are hit with glass shards and begin to hear something. They look up to see a set of fangs getting closer as the demons begin to arrive, and the blood begins to spray from everyone around them. A serpent walks in with a candle to shed some light. When the women see that they have been covered in blood, and they scream. The light begins to shine, and then everyone sees a giant Kushan tiger eating the entrails of the men that were just killed. The tiger growls and everyone begins to scream and run towards the exits, and the tiger swipes, ripping through some of the royals. All that can be seen are the heads flying through the air. Before anyone has a chance to escape, the tiger jumps over everyone, blocking the exit and biting down on the first person to get close. Farnese watches, trying to understand what's happening, and then she remembers something about these mythical beasts. She looks around until she finds something that she's looking for. Silver! The silver candle stand will help push the tiger back. As the tiger lunges towards Roderick and her family, Farnese thrusts the candle stand into the tiger's face. The tiger stumbles back, but because of Farnese wearing a formal dress, she can't react in the way that she would in her traveling clothes. The tiger jumps towards her, and then a gust of wind blows by as Serpico picks her up before the tiger can bite down. Everyone stops to look at Serpico, and he says to please forgive him. He was asked to escort somebody to the ball. The tiger growls as it moves closer to everyone, and then a voice calls out that it looks like the party is really getting started. Just as Guts walks in and says that he pulls out his sword and he gets ready for the oncoming fight. Farnese asks how, why are they here? And Serpico smiles, watching Guts do what he does best. The royals begin to shout, stating that there is no way one man can take on that beast, and then they begin to look at the massive sword that he is holding. The tiger charges forward and Guts grits his teeth, swinging down, splitting the tiger in half. The two halves falls to the ground, and the royals all shout that that man is amazing. What army does he belong to? Guts tells the royals, not yet. It's not over yet. And as the royals ask him what does he mean, more tigers jump through the windows and onto everyone close by. Serpico quickly jumps into the air, allowing the sylphs to gently carry him and Farnese to safety, and just as they touch down, Farnese sees everyone else. She tries to explain herself, but before she can even get the words out, Casca runs up, hugging her in the excitement. Guts tells everyone that they'll talk later, but first they need to get out of here. Farnese yells that they can't. Her parents are here, please, not yet! And Guts doesn't respond as Shirke shouts that they're just too cold. There's no way that they're going to leave this many people here. Guts sighs and says, fine, just look for the mages while I clean up here. Shirke begins to search and tells Serpico that she'll inform him once she has the location. Farnese tries to stop Serpico, but he just tells her that he'll be back. It will only take a few moments to get rid of them, and with that he flies out through the window. Guts grips his sword, stating that it's going to be a good way to test whether or not he's recovered, and he begins to tear into 2 more of the tigers. More leap out, and as Guts brings down his weapon, more of them are shredded into pieces. The rest of the tigers begin to surround Guts, and he takes a deep breath as he stomps down, getting into his stance. Meanwhile, with Farnese and Shirke, a stray tiger begins to close in on 2 women when Shirke opens up her satchel. As she does, 230 vines shoot out and wrap around the tiger's foot, holding it in place. She asks what is that, and Shirke tells her that it's the familiars that she's created. During the run on the beach, she realized that they needed a way to deal with the physical enemies. It's just improvisation, but it will do the trick. Now hold out your hand. Farnese does what Shirke asks, and Shirke slides a braided ring made out of the same vines, telling her that now the familiars will listen to her. She looks at the ring and asks, can she? And Shirke says that it's okay, even now she'll be able to control them. Back in the main fight, Guts cuts down another group of tigers when a sword shoots out, stopping one of them. Roderick holds his sword in the tiger's mouth, telling them that they are awful frightful. He then looks at Guts, asking if he's an acquaintance of Farnese. Guts tells him to just stop. Amateurs always get hurt when they try to help out. Roderick begins to struggle, holding the tiger, telling him that he really can't do that, not in front of the woman that he loves. And soon the tiger bites through Roderick's sword, and just as it leaps out, vines reach out, grabbing the tiger. Roderick looks up to see Farnese is the one who saved him, and she shouts to use the silver against these monsters. Roderick questions it at first, and then sees the silver candle stand and stabs it into the tiger's face. Outside, Serpico jumps down into the city's canals and finds the boat where the Kushan spellcasters are sitting. Few seconds later, back in the ballroom, the tigers suddenly stop their attack back, and Guts says that it seems that everything has been taken care of. Shirkei casts a spell freezing all the tigers in place, and everyone begins to poke them to make sure. Arnice's vines begin to coil back together, and Guts puts his sword away, stating that her parents and siblings are here. This is the noble world from which she is born from. Is this the last stop of her journey? She doesn't say anything at first and then tells him no. At last, she has come to understand that this place is just a cage of stone and not a place where she would want to return. It is simply a place where her journey started long ago, and she has only come here to visit, and that is all. And that brings us to the ending of 261. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of Farnice in the comments down below. I do apologize for an exceptionally short episode this week, but they do happen occasionally. And I'll see you next week right here at Mangastorian.